Hi, Dress for Success. My name is Jodi Glickman. I'm the founder and CEO of Great on the Job, a leadership development and communication training firm. And I'm excited to be here today for Tip Tuesday to talk about virtual executive presence. How do you show up online as your best self? It's kind of exhausting. And we've all had to get used to an enormous amount of technology to connect with others. And there are so many of us right now looking for employment opportunities or working with colleagues remotely in ways we never had to before. So how can you have executive presence behind a screen? It's actually doable. It really is. So let me share some tips with you today. When I talk about executive presence in person, I'm often focused on things like eye contact and gesturing and body language. And those are no less important today. That information still gets communicated through a Zoom call. It really does. But in our virtual world now, there's some things we have to add to that. So if you've got an interview coming up, if you have an important conversation that's happening via Zoom, if you're thinking about how to start leveraging technology so that you can interview again if you're looking for work, there are a few things that are really important. Number one, get okay and get comfortable with turning on your camera. No one likes it. No one likes seeing themselves on camera, but you really have to practice using Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Teams or whatever technology you're using. And the goal is to look into that little green dot on your screen, not look at yourself in the camera. I actually turn myself off. It was a piece of advice I got recently that was genius. Because when you see yourself, you're going to start obsessing. Do I look okay? Is my hair out of place? What's that over there? Instead of talking to you, the person who you're connecting with. So minimize or get rid of your video and just focus on that little green dot. But make sure you know where that green dot is, right? If you're talking into an iPhone, the camera's at the top, not at the bottom. There's people who don't know that. They sometimes look at this red record button, and then you find out that you're not talking to the person. So make sure you know where to look. Also, think about your background, your virtual background. I'm in my living room today, but I spend a lot of time in my office, and my office, not so pretty. So my 11 and 13-year-old daughters came to the rescue, and they were like, "Mom, duh, turn on your virtual background." And so we found some lovely office backgrounds and living room backgrounds. So when I'm in my office, no one knows that it's kind of an eyesore. No one knows that it really is not attractive. Use technology, find a virtual background that feels good to you. Distractions. I get this question all the time. Jodi, what if my child comes in during an interview? What if the mailman rings the doorbell? What if there's a siren going on in the background? Here's the deal, gang. The Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments for the first time via phone. And you know what happened last week? Someone flushed the toilet. Congress is meeting virtually, and there are images all over the internet of all of Congress trying to figure out how to use Zoom and having their grandkids and their kids help them out. And then there's the famous BBC dad who was all over the news a couple of years ago because his adorable little children trotted in to say hello while he was on a live national broadcast. Here's the thing. No one really cares anymore. It's okay. Distractions are welcome. It could be a pet, it could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be Alexa barking at you from the other room. Just acknowledge it. Sorry, you know what? My daughter came in the room. Or sorry, there's someone at the door, although no one's at the door anymore. Whatever the distraction is, acknowledge it and move on. No one's going to hold it against you. Make sure we can hear you, that you have really good sound. If you need to be mic'd like I am, go buy one on Amazon. I think this was $23. Or put yourself in a room that's smaller so the acoustics are better. And then once you get your virtual setting all good to go, think about how you are in terms of body language and eye contact and gestures. I typically stand about 2.5 to 3 feet away from the camera so that you can see my full torso. Right? I want you to know that all of me is here. Think about how close or far you are from the camera. Think about using your hands to help you get your message across and make sure you're making eye contact. You can do this. You can be awesome on camera. I promise you, you can. Just don't watch it back because you won't like it. But you will come across as authentic and engaging, and you'll be able to connect with your audience if you look into the camera, if you set yourself up at a good distance, if you make sure you have a nice virtual background, and if you ignore the fact that distractions might happen, but we're all okay with it. Good luck to you all. I want to hear your comments and questions, and I'm really excited to be partnering with Dress for Success this month on some webinars for your professional development. Thank you.